Slow pitch jigging is by far my favourite way of jigging, and it's so effective on all different species, from pelagic species through to all your demersal stuff like your snapper. There probably isn't a species I haven't caught on slow pitch. Why it's so easy? The rods are designed for it. So this is a slow type J PE3 rod, and it's specifically designed to handle fish of that PE rating and that jig rating. So even though this rod looks really skinny, it has all its power exactly where it needs to have it. So the combo I'm running here is a PE3 setup. So I'm running PE3 braid essentially, and I'm running the Game Type J slow jigging rod, or Type Slow J. And a Grappler 300, and the technique, and why I love slow jigging so much, is this is the technique. So essentially the rod does all the jigging for you. You put the butt of the rod in your armpit. That's why this butt section is relatively long. It sits up under your armpit, nice and comfortable. Then half a crank with your reel, and the rod tip bounces. And what it does is it lifts the jig, and it keeps the jig fluttering and doing the right action in the zone. So you're not leaving the zone, getting away from those fish. So all your bottom feeding fish, like your trout and your just any sort of reef fish, they don't want to leave the bottom a long way. I keep getting hits here and it's messing me up. The other thing about slow jigging is the rods do all the work. You don't have to do it. So leave that in there. You just simply crank when you can, provided you have a small fish like this. It's pretty easy. So I'm in nearly 58 meters of water. There's a ledge in front of me, but what I'm looking for is fish tight to the bottom, and I want nice red arches. I don't really want so much bait and smaller fish, because when you're jigging, all those littler fish will consistently attack your jig. So I'm looking for a bit bigger red arches and tight to the bottom, hoping that they're some sort of tasty fish. So I've got my sounder zoomed in just on the bottom 10 meters in 58 meters of water. I don't want to look at the rest of the water column. I'm literally focused on just that bottom section because they're the fish I want to catch. So I've zoomed it in because that gives me better definition and detail of what's actually going on in that depth. So this is starting to look more like what I want. Bit more solid red, bit harder bottom, a couple of red arches above all that stuff on the bottom, bit of bait. Ideal scenario for dropping down a jig. What I'm looking for in the sounder when I'm slow jigging is not so much fish like stacked really high, is like fish close to the bottom is where slow jigging really excels. Because you're only doing half a crank at a time, that jig is fluttering and staying in the zone a lot, so you don't need fish, I'm just getting rattled here, you don't need fish super stacked in the column for this technique to be effective. In fact, I can see a fish chasing me up. Eat it, yep, there we go. That's a better fish. There we go, that's a good one. So I just keep my rod in my armpit like that, crank when I can. Such an easy and effective technique to fight the fish. Like this isn't hard for me to crank, and it's not really an effort to fight the fish. And because of that taper in the rod and the design of the rod, you don't really pull hooks very much. I had a bad feeling I've got a trigger fish or a leather jacket here because there's so many fish on the sounder. And there we go. Definitely not the target species. So right now I'm out in 58 meters of water. So I'm running a 150 gram jig. There's absolutely no wind today, as you can tell. So typically what you need to do is, for it to be effective, is your line needs to remain vertical. Hence why I'm running a 150 gram jig, which sounds a little bit heavy. If there was more wind today, so wind opposite to my to the current, I would need to have my engine running and keep the line straight up and down. If your line drifts away, when you do your little flick, if your line is drifting like away from the boat essentially, the jig doesn't flutter. Boy, oh my God, the whole sounder is chock block. That's a better fish. Way. He's on his way back to the bottom. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I think we got upgraded. well and truly. Oh, maybe not. Look at that. That's a P3 rod, thin as a noodle, and they just bend. I'm not sure what this guy is. I feel like he could have been upgraded, but... Whoa! Look at the bend in that jigging rod. Wow. Wow. Just shows what you can do with a little P3 setup. Oh, so that's 50-pound line and 60-pound leader. There's colour and big golden P3 tackle and an absolute beast on the jig. So like I said, pelagics, anything basically. Grappa 300, golden trevally, which I thought got sharked. That is next level. Look at that. P3, incredible. So like I was saying, slow pitch jigging is by far my favourite way to catch these fish, or catch any fish I should say. And the proof is in the pudding. That is a pelagic style species, which you typically target on a high speed jig, but that slow jig, that really got him. We'll get it back in the water. Look at that. Beautiful, big Labrador of the ocean. Goldens. Such a nice fish when they're in the boat. Such a mean fighter when they're close to the bottom. Thanks, buddy. Kicking her fins. You ready? All right, let's go. Yes, look at that thing. You.